against anybody, let alone a good team like St. Bonaventure. They're good, really good, well coached, good talent, one of the top teams in the A10. And we're down. We put ourselves in a 30-7 hole, right? 9.5 minutes, 10 minutes to go in the first half, and after that, we're great. But you can't put yourself in that hole. A lot of fight. Had a really good stretch right after that run. Not so great a stretch to end the first half, maybe a little bit here and there. Guys rallied at halftime. Really good start. Kept up the energy. Played really well. And we just got to a point we just couldn't close it out. I don't know if I like my play calls at the end. I was trying to get something. Obviously Jalen had it going, and they were trying to force feed him a little bit. Then they were denying him, so it made it a little bit difficult. Trying to get Tariq going. He's such a good shooter that you think he's going to make the next one, even if he's having a rough game. So, trying to get him some looks, but just didn't get a good feel. So I didn't do a good job those last couple minutes getting us a good shot. So overall, and we've been preaching to these guys, you got to play a full 40 minutes. 30 minutes doesn't work when you're playing St. Bonaventure. So really good 30, but you got to play 40 to win.
John, go ahead.
Mike, you got to be proud of the guys, the way they came back. And a lot of times when you dig yourself out of that kind of hole, teams don't have the energy to take the lead. You actually took the lead by 5. What do you think it was down the last 4 minutes? Do you think it's the defensive job that they did on Ray, or what? Could you put your finger on it?
Yeah, I think that helps a little bit. They denied him a couple times. I still thought because of that denial, we were able to get a couple of good shots. I thought maybe Tariq passed one up. That was a good one to take, not as quite of a good one. So certainly give them credit. Look, they're a really good team. Give them all the credit in the world. But I didn't necessarily love the play calling there. So I'm going to go back and study the tape and keep getting better. I know I have to do a much better job, calling those plays down the stretch.
Andrew, go ahead.
Coach Andrew Botchgalupo, WRHU. Down 15 at the half. What was that message to your team defensively?
Just play the right way. And again, just preaching it, not to rehash it, but we've been talking about playing a full 40 minutes. We didn't do it against Monmouth. We didn't do it against Stony Brook. We played, whatever it was, 32 minutes. So we've gotten closer, but we haven't played the full 40 yet. So our key defensively tonight was playing hard for 40 minutes. Every possession. It was every play for 40 minutes was the key defensively. And, we started to get that. Again, if you don't put yourself down 30-7, you're in good shape. But yeah, and we could, another stop or two at the end, and maybe we get right there and maintain that lead. When those shots aren't going in, can you get the stops? They scored a couple times on us and took the momentum a little bit. Foul shots, stuff like that didn't go our way. Could have used the turnover here or there. Couldn't get that out of the pressure and some of that stuff. So one play away, but you got to make those plays to beat a team like this, on the road.
Mike, before we move on to the next question, could you comment on Jalen Ray and what he's done over the last 2 games?
Yeah, terrific. Man, he really shot it well. Made his foul shots, and and look, everybody knows he's a go-to guy, big scorer, all this stuff, and Jor Bowie and Elijah Pemberton were bullets. A and B, or one and 1A last year on the scouting report, right? But now it's Jalen, and he's embracing that and doing a great job with it in those spots. You feel like when the ball's in his hands in a big spot that something good is going to happen, off the ball, on the ball, playing more point guard now, doing what he needs to do. So a great game. Probably need to find a way to – we try to get him on a back door on coming out of the timeout here because they had overplayed him the last couple of possessions. I'll have to look at that on tape. We tried to get him along the baseline. Didn't get it to him. I thought we'd get a quick layup there and get some momentum back. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But he's been terrific. Great player. And, we see what he's doing game in and game out basis.
Next question, Jerry Beach.
Hey, Mike, two questions. First, last year they got out ahead pretty quick on you and finished it off. I think they won by 28. Obviously, you want to win the game and there's no buts about it. But do you take some solace in the fact that a year later you lost a couple of pretty good players from that team? They were able to make this game as competitive and close as it was in the end, and they got a follow-up.
Yes. So look, that was something that we kept in mind. That was the last thing we wrote on the scoreboard on the pregame. on the board, 73-45. We got our butts kicked last year, plain and simple. We actually got off to a decent start. I think we were up 8-2, and then it just all unraveled from there. So was a horrible experience. It was horrible watching that game again on tape this week. So, it's been a rallying cry for sure. Yeah, you take solace in it. Yeah, it's good. We outplayed a really good Atlantic 10 team for 30 minutes, but doesn't mean anything at the end of the day unless you get that win.
Follow up.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jerry.
I just want to know, this was your first traditional road trip of the year, where you travel the day before and stay in a hotel room, and I imagine you have another one coming up with Richmond.
Yeah.
What was that like for you guys, and did it help you? Or had you gotten used to the chaos of 2020,
Yeah.
and did you take you a little bit longer to get rolling today because of that? Thanks.
That's a great point. I don't know if it took us longer to get going because of that, Jerry. It's definitely different, though. 7 hours on a bus, long trip. We didn't want to fly up here, just keep it within the tier and less exposure to more people. You can't really, have the meetings the way we do. We don't eat meals together, stuff like that. So it's different. You don't have the typical routine that you normally have on the road. So definitely very, very different. Something that we're going to have to get used to as we have, more road games and staying overnight. So definitely not your usual rhythm, definitely not your usual road game experience for sure, but a good learning experience that way to be able to go through that, because certainly we'll have these in conference once we're starting to get back into the back-to-backs.
Mike, this question's from John from Newsday. Can you talk about Isaac's 15-13 double-double today?
Right. 15-13, 6 of 10, 4 offensive rebounds. First game, he didn't make foul shots. He's been unbelievable. I think he was 80+% before this. He's been shooting the ball really, really well. I might have jinxed him this week. I said how well. I said maybe he should be shooting our technicals. No, but a great game, and a great game against a really good player. That kid's defensive player of the year in Atlantic 10, all Atlantic 10 big guy. He's had NBA guys out here to watch him because he's so good defensively. So for IK to be able to perform like that against a kid like that, everybody knows how good of a player he is. But to do that, and he didn't have a great game against them last year. So for him to respond like that, obviously owning the boards, 13 rebounds was a great job. Really worked hard, and he's a fantastic player. And that's what we're going to need from him. We're going to need from him night in and night out. That kind of performance to get into those double doubles.
Next question will be from Max from WRHU. Go ahead, Max.
Hey, Coach. Max Sacco from WRHU here. Now heading into this Richmond game after this one, just early on here, what area of the team or what, play or what are you looking at here to kind of adjust right away, at least right after the game now ahead of the Richmond matchup in a couple days?
Yeah, we got to study them. Richmond's really good. Have not really seen much of them. I know they got a couple of really good guards, really good big kid. They run the Princeton offense, so probably a lot of sharing the ball against our zone and everything like that. In terms of quick adjustments, we just got to keep getting better. It's really about us at this end. I feel like every game that we've kind of controlled our fate. Are we doing the right things? Are we keeping people off the glass? 13, I had really 10 offensive rebounds, 3 team offensive rebounds for them. So, are we controlling the glass on both sides? Are we getting second shots? We controlling? I think that's something that we can really control. Are we getting back in transition defense? That's something that we need to control as well. Shots are going to fall. We're going to do what we need to do. But really, it's about us, Max. How do we keep building? And obviously, we have one more great road experience against a really, really good team. And, the best part about these games, playing Bonaventure and Richmond right before Christmas is, we get really good experience playing top tier Atlantic 10 teams, and it's going to help us get ready for conference play. So we'll take our shot. We'll do everything to prepare. We'll start hunkering down after, this one's going to stink for a couple days, but we'll get back to the film and see what we need to do, adjustments to make to, go down to Richmond and see if we can play a full 40 minutes.
Thank you, Mike. Safe travels home.
Thank you, guys.